It's fantasy draft weekend, so you know what that means, right?
Time to get naked.
Oh, we're alive. Let's get loaded. We're just dancing. Oh, shit. And welcome to the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first because we finish last.
Thank you once again for tuning into the Loaded Box Podcast. I am Ben Morgan. That is DJ Primo. And since it's fantasy football draft weekend, that means you get the rare time when we're actually together and we get to do a podcast. And it's on YouTube. Now that we're on YouTube, you can see me. You can see my nieces in the background. It's a fantastic time.
How hot they are.
Hey, stop that now. What do you think? You pumped up for the day? We got a lot of drinking to do. We got a lot of giveaways to do. We got a lot of podcasts to record. We got a lot of drafting to do.
I feel like I'm never mentally prepared for this. Like, I think that I am, that I get to this day and I'm like, it's more than what we even expect. And we know what to prepare for every year. But, if you guys don't do something like this,
you're missing out.
We'll give you an inside look.
Labor Day weekend, always, you do it. And today, before we do our draft party, we are doing our 2018 NFL season predictions. We're going to go through division by division. We're going to do our playoff predictions. We're going to go as crazy as Super Bowl and awards predictions as well. So, Oh, and then tonight at our draft, we're going to be on Twitter Live. We're going to be doing our Odell Beckham Jr. mini helmet giveaway, which by the time you're listening to this, it probably already happened. Check out Twitter, find our live video. I'm expecting big things.
Let's do it.
All right, so real quick before we get together with our season predictions, Pristine Auction, I would say in case you haven't gotten signed up yet, but you're too late for this puppy, but make sure you're following Pristine Auction on Twitter. We actually teamed up with them for this giveaway. Make sure you're following them. They've got daily auctions packed with tons of stuff for the man cave. They guarantee their items as they all come with certificates of authenticity. Oh, I fucked it up that time. Only from the trusted sources. It's affordable. Most people don't think you can afford it, but trust me, you can. It's quick and it's free and easy to register. Free to bid. You only pay when you win. Make sure you mention the Loaded Box Podcast in the How Did You Hear About Us section. So when you go there, make sure you're bidding on things, man. There's a lot of stuff out there. Just check it daily. But when you register, mention our name so we can keep doing more giveaways in the future. Head over to pristineauction.com, Pristine auction.com. And with that, DJ, 2018 season is upon us. We had some college football last night, and now we are literally... It's Sunday. Thursday is the opening of NFL football. It's finally here.
I got my ass handed to me yesterday in actually the last 4 days in gambling, so I'm
3-0, baby. I'm all
degenerate
cash.
Shit is killing me, but I'm ready for the NFL season so I can lose some more money. Let's do this.
I'm all cash. All right, let's kick things off. AFC East.
Your division.
My division, despite my Randy Moss jersey, if you're watching on YouTube that you can see, I got the throwback on today. All right, I think it's clear cut. Everyone's going with the Patriots, right?
Easily. I don't think it's... there's no competition in this.
The question is, how many wins did you give them?
I gave them 13 wins. I have them at 13-3. I got a couple tough games with like the Packers and Jaguars. I think they had
the Vikings
and the Vikings.
Yep.
But outside of that, just running through the AFC, the easiest of the two conferences. Yeah. And then the easiest division in the easiest conference is the AFC East.
And I don't even really think it's all that close with the improvements like some of the teams in the NFC or AFC North made.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm with you. I got them at 13 wins. That's actually the number one overall seed in the AFC for me. Like I said, and what scared me a little bit was like, all right, Brady's getting older. Gronk's often injured. Edelman's missing the first 4 games. And I went through and I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter based on the teams they're playing. Like, they are set to win that division with ease.
Yeah, it's not even close.
I got the Dolphins with 4 wins. I got the Jets and the Bills each with 2.
You gave the Dolphins 4 wins.
When I first did this, I had them at like 7 or 8. I went through it after seeing them a little bit in preseason and just my overall feelings. I was being a little too much of a homer, I think.
I gave them 6. I got them going 6-10, second in the division. And then Jets 3-13 and the Bills 1-15. Although I think the Jets could actually sneak out a couple more wins if Sam Darnold is as good as he looks.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna give him too much. Just because like when the season actually
3 is
happens,
not a lot. Like I'm not asking for a lot, so 1 or 2 wouldn't be a big deal either.
No, but when the season actually starts happening, it's like things are gonna move a little bit quicker, and they're gonna have more turnovers. I think it's gonna be later in the season by the time he really starts progressing.
I like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. All right, let's do the AFC North.
Glad we're in the same area.
Who do you have there?
I have the again. This is another easy one. It feels like the Steelers
Mhm.
should easily take this division. I have them 12-4.
12-4.
Yes,
Okay.
I had them like 8-0 at one point when I was going through the schedule.
Yeah. I have them at 10-6. They end up being my number 4 seed in the
They're
playoffs.
also my 4 seed, I believe. Yes.
The thing is about this division too, like, so my next in line in this division only has 6 wins. So 10 might seem even a little bit low for a division winner, especially like
6,
Pittsburgh, who's
yeah.
constantly just winning games in the regular season and making it to the playoffs. There's not really any pressure on them this year. I don't think Cleveland is going to be better. Obviously, you can't be worse than 0 wins. 6 wins, I got the Bengals at 5, and I only have Baltimore at 3. So I feel like I was probably a little bit low on the Bengals and the Ravens, but how we do this, we go through every single week
Yeah.
of the schedule and just do tally marks and
Yeah.
just say who's going to win each and every game. So we're not just coming up with records. We're literally going through every single game on the NFL schedule.
Yeah.
So sorry to all those fans, but these are some weak divisions outside the very top.
It is, and I'm actually the most excited about the Browns Steelers game in opening week in Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm really excited about that because I actually think the Browns
You're
can make
yelling.
that a close game. I don't give a fuck. I'm excitable. I think the Browns can make that a close game, and I do have them going 12-4. I got the Browns going 7-9 this year. I said I was
It's
gonna
not
have
bad.
around 500. I have them around. I have them just one below that.
That's over the Vegas win total.
I have the Ravens at 5-11, and then the Bengals at 3-13, bringing up the rear.
Yeah, are you surprised by your Bengals record? Like I thought
kinda
was going
was.
to have them with more than 5 wins.
But the more I did it, I was like, God, I hate Marvin Lewis,
yeah,
and I don't like anything about
I
the.
don't like Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I don't
and-
like. I just don't like the Bengals. Like,
Yeah.
as long as I think this is just gonna be the icing on the cake. Like Marvin Lewis has to be done. I mean, they
Oh yeah.
fired him last year for fucking 20 seconds. So.
Yeah, right. Anything less than probably like 7 wins is going to be fireable for him.
Honestly, if you don't make the playoffs, I think they just need
yeah, because
I should say an excuse, but they already have.
they're stuck in
enough of an
mediocrity
excuse.
if they keep
Yeah.
getting 7 wins. So
Yeah.
make a change, Cleveland or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cleveland, you already made your change. All right, AFC South. I have a feeling we're going to agree again because you're a Jaguars guy.
Yes. I actually have the Jaguars going 13-3. I was really surprised, but I think that the AFC South is highly overhyped. I don't
figured
think the
you'd say
Texans
that.
are going to be that good. I really don't. I have them actually as my 1 seed, the Jaguars, in the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, I have the same record as the Pats, but I had in when the Patriots played the
Patriots.
Jaguars, I had the Jaguars winning that game, which gives
So
them the
that's
1
your
seed.
tiebreaker?
Yep.
Okay, well, I've got the Jags as the 2 seed in the playoffs, and this is actually the first division we'll talk about where I had 2 playoff teams.
Oh,
So
God.
I've got the Titans
You're gonna laugh so hard at me.
sneaking in as the 6th seed in the AFC with a 9-7 record. I actually gave Jacksonville 12 wins. I have Houston at 9 wins as well. They just missed the playoffs, in my opinion. And despite the fact that Andrew Luck is back, I still only have 8 wins for the Colts. They seem to have some real difficult schedule outside of their division. And even though Luck's back, I don't know if it's going to click right away.
I almost had them going to the 6, but I also had them at 9-7.
You have every team in that division at 9-7.
So it's weird. This is where my surprise is. This is my first surprise. My other 2 wildcard teams come out of the AFC South. I have the Colts at 9-7 and the Texans at 9-7, both being the next 2 best records to make the playoffs. And then I have the Titans coming in at 8-8.
Wow. So
I
that's
didn't know.
a jam-packed,
It
muddled
is.
division for you.
It's 30-3 and it drops all the way down to 9-7, and nobody else in any of the divisions I had finishing with 9 wins.
Okay, that's what I'm going to move on to the AFC West then, because that's where I think that there's going to be a little clutter. Who do you have winning the AFC West?
The Chargers.
At what record?
13-3. I hate this division as well. I think this is going to be a severely worst.
Why?
I don't think the Chiefs are going to be good. The Broncos haven't improved much at all. Case Keenum doesn't get me excited. The offensive line is bad. The Raiders have John Gruden, which doesn't excite me. They just got rid of Khalil Mack, which is dumb.
Let's take a second to talk about the Raiders. They just traded Khalil Mack,
Yeah.
arguably a top 3 defender in the league.
Yes.
They traded for Switzer, the receiver, and Martavis Bryant, the receiver, over the offseason, cut them both.
Yeah, I was going to say, they just got cut.
And now they're just relying on. They had a questionable draft, really questionable draft.
Jordy Nelson's their second wide receiver.
Jordy Nelson is there.
Terrible.
Like, I want to like the Raiders. I truly want to like the Raiders because of my man crush with Amari Cooper.
I know.
I have them going 7-9, and I almost feel like I'm being
I have
too
them
nice.
lower. I have them at 5-11.
Yeah, we're both Derek Carr guys. Like we think that, given the right pieces, he can be up there with one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
It seems like they're just in a whatever they're doing right now just isn't right. I don't get it.
Yeah, so I have the Chargers as the 3 seed in the AFC. They win the division at 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
Denver is my surprise team. That's who's taken the 5th seed in the first wild card spot. I've got them 10-6. I'll get back to that. I have both Oakland and Kansas City at 7-9. Why I like Denver is because I think they were out of games last year because they didn't have an offense to compete, and the defense pretty much gave up. I think their offense can be competent at this point, and I don't think the defense is going to struggle near as much as it did. I think that the defense is going to return to maybe not as dominant as they were for that Super Bowl run, but they should be good enough to compete on a week-to-week basis in an AFC, which when I'm going through the records, it's not near as competitive as the NFC. So I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that they sneak into that wild card spot.
I essentially have them losing to each other at home, the Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs, when they play each other.
It's safe.
Splitting all those games, and then I just don't think they're good enough to just beat a lot of teams. I have the Chiefs at 7-9, the Broncos at 6-10, opposite of yours, 10-6, and then I have the Raiders coming in last at 5-11.
That's going to be our most scrutinized one so far.
But I do have the Chargers as a 3 seed as well.
Chargers as a 3.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to go on to the NFC?
We're on to the NFC.
All right, let's start in the East, where the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. For a while there, I was going through the rankings, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to have them not make the playoffs?
I wasn't.
But the thing about the East is I think in general, it's just kind of blah outside of the Eagles. I've got the Eagles winning the division at 10-6 as the 4th seed. It's a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but the fact that I have the Giants in second at 7-9, and they're that team this offseason that we've talked about on podcast where they've made so many improvements. They're getting healthier. They should compete. Literally, if you think 7-9 sounds crazy, if you think they should have more wins, go through their schedule and try to find more wins. What do you have the Giants at?
I have them at 8-8, so really close.
It's a tough schedule.
I think I gave them a win at the end of the season against a team that was
locked in.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was somewhere in that, or I had an upset victory against the Eagles that I didn't think I would do, but I just figured they could win, maybe sneak one of those games in the season.
It always happens.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know where you have the Cowboys.
So I obviously have the Eagles winning the division. I always give teams too many wins and not enough losses, but I just go through and who do I think is better, and that's what I do. I have the Eagles going 12-4. I did have them losing their first game because I don't know about Carson Wentz playing, and I still don't trust Nick Foles.
Yeah, sounds like Foles week 1.
Yeah, they still aren't giving away that answer though.
Not yet.
So I have the Eagles going 12-4. I actually have the Cowboys finishing second. I actually have the Eagles as a 4 seed as well, so we're on same par with that.
All right.
Cowboys second at 9-7.
Okay, so let me interject and I'll start going. I had them at 5-11, so go ahead with the Cowboys.
5-11?
5-11.
I'll finish it out. I had 8-8 with the Giants, and then with the Redskins, I had them going 2-14. I don't think they're good. And I mean, they've got tough. It's the NFC. They've got, I think, every team in that division is better than they are, significantly better.
I wanted to give them wins because Alex Smith is the
ultimate, and that's what I was like,
I'm going to get my team to the playoffs quarterback, whether it's with 9 wins, 10 wins, 11 wins.
Tell me what excites you about the Washington R-words. Tell me something that excites you, because Darius Geis isn't there anymore.
If Alex Smith and Jordan Reed can stay healthy, I think that's a good tandem.
But is that exciting? Is Alex Smith exciting? There's nothing that excites you.
If I was a Redskins fan, I'd be most excited for my team's games to get done so I could watch Red Zone Channel.
Oh, yeah, and Darius Geis to play next year. They're ready for 2019 season.
They are. I mean, they got AP. He's old.
Oh, yeah. I'm real pumped about that.
He's old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only got the Redskins for 4 wins, which is probably a little bit too low. Like, if you were just to say, what are the Redskins going to finish? I'd give them at least 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah.
Going through it, I could not find the wins. I want to go back to Dallas for a second.
Yeah, we'll come to Dallas.
What kills me about this team is the injuries on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott loses Des Bryant and Jason Witten. The outside, the options on the outside right now are fairly unproven, and it's not like reports from camp or preseason where things are starting to click.
I never heard about Allen Hurns at all.
Very, very little.
Yeah.
Very little. It's been more Gallup.
More Gallup than Hurns, yeah.
But that
And then obviously Cole Beasley seems to be his favorite target.
Right, yeah. But it just concerns me, and I have a feeling that if this team gets down early in games, I don't think they don't have a terrible defense, but it's not going to keep them in games. And if Zeke and the running game gets taken out of games, I'm not 100% anti-Dak Prescott. I think he can get the job done there with a good defense, with Zeke crushing it. I think Dak is good. If the team is on his shoulders, I am struggling to find them wins.
See, I think Dak is competent, can make the right throws, make the right decisions. I think he's an average to a little bit above average quarterback. And then I love Zeke. I mean, he's going to be a monster. And the offensive line is still going to be good. I think they're going to have a couple pieces back in place that we're not seeing right now that we're all worried about. But that defensive front is really good for them. And now they have Gregory, who's sober, they say, and that guy can be a fucking monster.
Speaking of
he literally can be. Exactly. But that's like with David Irving and all those guys, Sean Lee in the front seven there, they are legit. Their secondary is their weakness. Like the Packers have picked them apart. Other teams have picked them apart. If they can't get to the quarterback, they're going to be in trouble. But they can. They have like one of the better front sevens.
They need to stay sober. They need to stay healthy because Sean Lee gets hurt every other possession.
But that front, the defensive line is really good too.
Yeah, it's probably the best they've had in a very long time. All right, so we both have the Eagles as the 4th seed. Let's go on to your division and
my division.
This Jersey division.
I own the division.
The NFC North. I'm going to let you start because I feel like you're going to be mad at me if I start.
All right, so obviously I have the Packers winning division at 13-3, coming in at the 1 seed. Although I'm gonna surprise you guys in the playoffs, but we'll get to that. I have a reasoning for everything. The Vikings coming in second at 10-6. The Bears third at 8-8.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but and then it's just a packed division actually, and the Lions coming in last at 7-9. I think everybody's pretty damn good in that division.
Yeah.
And the Lions kind of, I don't know. I like the addition of obviously I love the addition of Khalil Mack, which might give him an extra win. I don't know. It's nothing like I'm that nervous about because we have, like I said to you earlier, doesn't worry that much because we have the best left tackle in the game, and it might help against a team like the Lions who are throwing constantly.
Yeah.
A lot.
So the Packers though.
But it's it's David Bakhtiari and it's Aaron Rodgers, so it's a little different.
Right.
But I don't know. I looked at the Packers' schedule, and there's a few games that scare me more than other ones. They've got the Rams and the Patriots, I think, right next to each other.
Rams, they have a little bit of a gauntlet right away.
Yeah.
Rams, Patriots, 49ers, Vikings, Bears.
They've got actually Bears and Vikings right away at the beginning, the first 2 games. They'll smoke the Bears on Sunday night, and who knows?
Quit fucking with that football.
Who even knows what Khalil Mack's gonna how much is he gonna be involved in week 1?
He's gotta be fresh.
He's gonna be fresh, but how much is he gonna be involved in the defense in week 1? You don't know.
Line him up, let him go.
Yeah, go stand up there and run. I got the quarterback.
He's got that natural.
Hey, I had the Vikings coming in at 10-6. The
That's
surprise
what I was going
is.
to ask you. Yeah, what give me your surprise?
I don't have them making the playoffs.
Oh no! Oh no!
I have 2 wild card teams that have finished. It's literally I have like the exact same as last year, except the Packers are replacing the Vikings in the playoffs.
So you got the Vikings with double-digit
wins
wins and missing the playoffs.
That NFC South is really good, and we'll get to that.
NFC South is really good. We'll get to that in a second here.
Yeah.
All right, so unlike you, I do not have the Packers winning the division.
Because you're dumb.
I have the Vikings winning the division with 13 wins.
Sure.
2 seed.
No, their schedule is vehemently harder than last year. They're not going to stay as healthy.
It is, and I think honestly, I do think 13 is a little too high.
Probably is.
But I had to do what I did. I can't go back and change it now. 13 wins, 2 seed. Green Bay Packers, 12 wins, first wild card, 5 seed. I've got Detroit being really strong, 10 wins, but not making the playoffs. And the Bears I have improving to 7 wins and obviously not making the playoffs. But, man, they're making noise. I think the division's going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to – and Khalil Mack is now there. That's the one thing that worries me. Khalil Mack is now there for like 6 years. I mean, he's probably going to be there for a long while now.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So they basically just got a proven draft pick who's probably like, 25? I don't know how old he is, but probably 25 years old. They just got a proven draft pick for guys they would have know nothing about.
That's why I think it's a great move.
I know Packer fans are disappointed. Let me talk Packers for a second here.
Go ahead.
Packers fans are really disappointed right now. Like, why didn't we get him? Why didn't we get him? Like, what we should have done more. They were in the talks. They wanted him. But the Raiders looked at it as who's gonna get the better first round pick. They think the Bears are worse. If anything, that's just a compliment to Green Bay. So they're gonna get higher first round picks. That's literally what they came out today at, or what was being leaked on Twitter today.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does. So they think they're gonna get a higher pick from the Bears than what they're gonna be from the Packers. So it's not like the Packers did anything wrong.
No.
They're just good.
Yeah, I agree.
Their fault is being good.
I think it would have been a great addition for the Packers.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about what's your weakness, and obviously you have to just go straight to the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the outside linebackers.
Yeah, and you think about
at this point,
and that's what like teams were able to pass against them left and right
Yeah.
last year. So you instantly look to the secondary.
Which
But if you get a defensive line and linebackers
Yeah.
that can create pressure, you just through the process, your secondary gets better because your quarterback doesn't have as much time. You're not covering for as long.
and they did they addressed that. And they tried to adjust the cornerback position.
They tried, yeah.
I mean, we don't know how it's going to turn out, but it looks
Hey.
so far promising.
They did the steps they needed to take.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
if Khalil Mack would have been an addition, I mean, I would have had them going 16-0 probably.
Just pencil them in for the
I
Super
would have.
Bowl.
I'm like, this game's over.
Pencil them in. Well, let's move on to that NFC South because I think this is the most intriguing division
Yeah,
in
this is a
football
wild one.
outside of the NFC North.
Mhm.
What do you got?
I have the Saints winning the division, being the 3 seed at 12-4.
Okay.
Then I have the Falcons coming in second at 11-5, and the Panthers at 11-5. I just had to pick a random tiebreaker because I think they
division.
split
Yeah.
the game. So I'm just like,
Pick the team you like the
I'll just
most.
pick. Yeah, exactly. So I picked I like the Panthers the most, but I think the Falcons are probably a little bit better.
I thought you'd go with your boy Cam.
So I do have the Falcons at the 5 seed and the Panthers at the 6 seed. And then I have the Bucks just bringing it up the rear at 5-11. They're just in a tough spot with
They
these
are.
3 teams that are just over their head. That they're just
yeah.
they're like, fucking put us in another, like, go put us in the AFC South or something.
Yeah, can we be in the AFC East? So we might have a
put
chance
them
at
in
a
something
wild
like
card.
that. It's just ridiculous.
Okay, so you had New Orleans winning the division.
Yep.
And then you picked Atlanta to be a wild card.
Mhm.
Okay. I've got Atlanta winning the division, being the 3 seed, and I personally do think this is crazy with 12 wins. I don't think they're a 12-win team, but according to what I went through when I did this, they got 12 wins.
Yeah.
So they're my 3 seed. I have a wild card team from this division. It's the Saints. They get the last wild card spot with 11 wins. That's just how good the NFC is.
I have 2 teams from the same same as last year though. And
Same as last.
Same last year. I have.
And like you said, you can argue for Carolina. I've got them at 10 wins.
I had them at 11. I had both of them at 11. So it's gonna be crazy.
It's nothing against Carolina.
Fun to watch though. It makes that division fun to watch because I think even the Ducks, when Jameis Winston, if he's as good as what he can be, if he's not throwing interceptions, I think they can at least make those games interesting. Well, they're probably not going to win, but they're going to make them interesting and maybe win one of those 3 home games against those guys.
Right.
And make that a little interesting.
I'm with you. I only had them at 5 wins, and I feel like it's literally because they're not awesome, but they've got a competent team. Like, they're going to be fine. They're stuck in such a freaking mess in that division.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Atlanta real quick because obviously 2 years ago they made it to the Super Bowl. They should have won the Super Bowl. Offense averaged over 30 points per game. Matt Ryan is the MVP. Like, the team was just clicking, and then last year they took a step back, and they won a playoff game, but after that it was nothing. But do you think they're a team that can get back to 2 years ago status and make a Super Bowl push, or is something missing?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan's the issue.
He's the issue. I mean, he had the standout season, but like if you look around that season, the standout season is actually the outlier.
It is an outlier.
Of all the seasons.
Because they're always good.
Because he had like 5,000 yards and like it was just like it was ridiculous. But then he kind of went back to his mean the year before, the year after, the years before.
This is good math terms. I like it.
So I just
outlier and mean.
I think they are good enough to be in the playoffs because they have so many good fucking weapons. Obviously, they have so many good weapons with Coleman, Freeman, Julio, Sanu, all those guys. And their defense has improved. What? Ridley. Yeah, whatever. Forget that guy. But I mean, in their defense, it kind of 2 years ago it like played really well, and then last year it kind of
it's
came
like they
back
sort
to
of over
reality a little bit. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
They overperformed what they thought they were going to. They were so young too. Like they had some young guys that were really doing more than anyone expected, and everyone thought last year like, oh my God, they're going to take an even farther step. And they really didn't.
Yeah, I think.
So that's going to, in my opinion, like what's going to hold them back it's that defense. It's still a little bit of a question mark, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vic Beasley had a down year last year.
And he played out of his mind 2 years ago.
Correct. And then what's the middle linebacker? What's his name?
Buchanan?
Dion.
Yeah. Jones.
Yeah. So, and he was still pretty good, but they both played out of their mind last year or 2 years ago. And I don't know. I just don't think they have it anymore. And that Super Bowl kind of just killed them too.
Oh, that's a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah, I think it hurts back from that. We'll see.
All right, one last division here before we hit the playoffs. It's the NFC West. The Rams won the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to win the actual season?
I mean, I think this division is. I mean, people are big Niners fans.
Yeah.
I'm a fade the Niners guy we'll talk about this in gambling season, which is coming up here. But I'm a fade the Niners guy the first 3 weeks. Same with the Texans. I'm a fade the Texans guy the first 3 weeks. I think they're going to be a little overhyped. But, yeah, I think they're going to easily run away with the division because there's just not – the Seahawks are like you know how you have like a meteoric rise? They're a meteoric fall. They're crashing to the earth right now. And I think they're going to be really bad.
What do you have?
Russell Wilson's great, but I just think everything around him is so bad.
There's not enough around him anymore, and the defense, which should have been legit, I don't want to say like Ravens with Ray Lewis legit, but they had so many pieces, and it crumbled so much faster than it ever should have.
And I don't know. I feel like you could kind of see that happening. Like see that was going to happen at one point, anyways. But it's what I predicted. I know years ago.
It started crumbling. It was like Jenga, man. You pulled out a piece, and then you pulled out another piece, and next thing you know, it just tumbled.
Too many big personalities on one defense.
Yep.
That just killed them.
So what are your records?
I have 12-4, the Rams with a 2 seed.
2 seed.
9-7, the Niners coming in second, but not. I mean, 9-7 is just not good enough for this the NFC. The Seahawks coming in at 4-12, and the Cardinals at 3-13. So I couldn't give them any more. I wanted to, but they're missing a lot of things. Their defense is significantly worse than what it used to be. Offensive line is terrible.
Safe to say then you think Rosen's going to get significant playing time.
I think Rosen will play, and I almost like their chances better with Rosen than I do with Sam Brett. But he's probably just going to get injured.
The thing is, okay, so with Arizona, I only have them at 4 wins. Yeah. And honestly, I think that's a little bit low because I think with the likes of, if you can keep Bradford healthy, which is probably the biggest if in the NFL, if you can keep him healthy, if you get Larry Fitzgerald, I kind of like Ricky Seals-Jones. I don't think he's a game changer by any means, but he can get the job done. And you have David Johnson returning. They should legit be a 500 team at worst. But they're, once again, like if you're a San Francisco believer, and if the Rams do anything like what they did last year, that's a tough division to have to compete in. Yep. So while 4 wins that I have them at is probably a little bit low, I think 500 would be an unbelievable season. Yeah, we're in the Amazon.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Get this fucking bug out of here. Yeah.
All right. I have the Rams as the 1 seed in the NFC at 13-3. 49ers in the preseason, before we did this, I had the San Francisco as a wild card. I dropped them a little bit. The whole McKinnon news, I don't want to say that's the end-all be-all for them.
I don't think he is.
But he was a dynamic playmaker, though, that it can cause mismatches and just kind of be that outlet for Garoppolo if things were to start struggling a little bit. And without him, I don't want to say without a true number 1 because I think that they have a lot of like number 2 type receivers who can get the job done. But I just think there's still something missing from that team. So I only have the Niners at 9-7, Seattle at 6-10. So yeah, I don't want to go overboard on the Rams. I don't want to say I don't want to be the guy that says, oh my God, they crushed it in the offseason. It's going to translate into all these wins now. But you look at their schedule and you look at the amount of talent they had and think at what they added, and Aaron Donald is now back. Yeah. You got Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh in the middle of the defensive line.
I mean, I think there's going to be times you see like a lineman fly into his quarterback immediately. Like the quarterback doesn't even get the snap because he's fucking in the air, feet off the ground because Aaron Donald and Suh just threw him.
They can both just penetrate like ridiculously off the line of scrimmage.
Penetration.
Not a ton of people probably saw it in Miami because Miami doesn't get a ton of national attention. But when Suh was there, he was dominant, and he lined up more often than not next to Cam Wake. And like, what do you do in that situation? And now you're going to put the 2 best defensive tackles in the league next to each other. Like, that's just going to cause havoc. And those pass rushers, like they lost Robert Quinn, but for for however good they are, their play is going to get elevated because of the amount of pressure that they can create on the inside.
Like they're going to have to focus so much on those two guys.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Fly episode of Breaking Bad.
We are experiencing
like we're dealing with that. Ben wanted me not to smack the table and have a big bang. I was okay with it. I figured you guys would have made it.
I didn't want to break the computer while we're recording.
I was just going to boom and just, I don't know. But this Fly is fucking with me and I don't know where it is. No,
yep. All right, well, we're only in real life August. No, we're in September now.
We're in September.
It's freaking September.
Date on your computer.
But with that, we're going to be into the playoffs here in a second in our hypotheticals. But before that, DJ, I need you to tell us about Squad QL.
Oh, shit. Want an unfair advantage to dominate your fantasy football league?
Yeah.
Well, look no further and download Squad QL, the only mobile app you need to crush your friends and rivals, as Ben and I are about to fucking go do in the next 3 hours. So, Squad QL recommends the best starting lineup for you each week based on your starters, bench players, and free agent pool, which is awesome. It doesn't just connect to you like your lineup. It looks at somebody available.
Everyone in your league.
Yeah, everybody available on the free agent pool and says, hey, you should pick this tight end up because you're DJ and you definitely are going to be streaming tight ends every week. So if you're like me, you need this. You may ask, how does Squad QL actually do this, Ben?
How do they do it?
The app connects directly with your Yahoo, ESPN, CBS leagues, pulling in your actual roster in your league scoring system. Squad QL provides waiver and trade recommendations, plus the app. I love hand movements. Plus the app gives you player rankings each week, and it's all based on your league settings.
That's dope.
Squad QL truly is your go-to app this fantasy football season. Head to squadql.com to download Squad QL, your all-in-one fantasy football manager.
Beautiful. Should we talk playoffs?
Let's talk some playoffs.
All right.
Playoffs!
Who are your AFC matchups, and who do you have winning?
All right. Should we run through our seeding just real quick or no?
Go ahead.
All right. So in the AFC, my 1 seed was the Jags, 2 seed was the Pats, 3 seed was the Chargers, 4 seed the Steelers, the 5 seed was the Texans, and the 6 seed was the Colts.
And mine are the Patriots 1, Jags 2, Chargers 3, Steelers 4, Broncos 5, Titans 6.
And then in the NFC, I have the Packers as the 1 seed, Rams as the 2, Saints as the 3, Eagles as the 4, Falcons as the 5, and Panthers as the 6.
And I am 1 Rams, 2 Vikings, 3 Falcons, 4 Eagles. Wildcard teams are 5 Packers and 6 Saints.
All right. So my matchup for the AFC wildcard was the Colts at the Chargers.
Chargers.
Colts make it back into the playoffs when Andrew Luck returns.
Man, that's too early.
I think he's so good. I mean, why is it too early? I don't get it. Anyways, he's a transcendent quarterback. Like, we're forgetting how good he was. And then the Texans at the Steelers.
Okay, and your winners.
My winners are the Chargers. Both home teams win this one.
You got both.
I think it's going to be easy. Chargers and Steelers, no, not even close.
All right, so it's funny. You have the Chargers and Steelers winning wild card weekend because as do I, but they play different teams.
Yeah.
I've got Tennessee at the Chargers winning. Denver, my surprise AFC team, at Pittsburgh, and then their surprise season coming to an end.
Yeah.
And the Steelers winning. So wild card weekend, NFC.
NFC wild card weekend, I had the Panthers at the Saints and the Falcons at the Eagles. I have the Saints beating the Panthers at home. They're just out for blood right now.
Yep.
And then the Falcons actually going on the road and beating the Eagles.
Ooh, so the party's over for the Eagles.
Party's over for the Eagles.
Wild card weekend.
Wild card weekend. That's that little hangover.
It's hard to repeat, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to repeat.
Tough. So.
All right, so in the NFC, I have the Saints advancing on the road against Atlanta. I think Atlanta's 12-win season comes to an end because I like the Saints a little bit more than the Falcons this year, despite the records. So I've got the Saints advancing over the Falcons, and I have the Green Bay Packers going on the road and knocking out last year's Super Bowl champs and the Eagles.
We both have the Eagles losing in the first round.
Yeah, and I didn't really have that planned in my head per se, but I think the Packers have a decent chance at actually winning that division. So let's say that they do outperform the Vikings and they end up getting that bye from being a higher seed.
Yeah.
I think obviously they make it to the next round, whereas I don't think the Eagles are going to be in a position to be able to make it to that next round. And I just think that the Packers are a little bit better overall with Aaron Rodgers back.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's so hard to repeat. Nothing against the Eagles. The Eagles are a solid team. Their defense might have gotten even a little bit better.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of questions still at the running back because what's Ajayi really? Like, what is he still?
Shitty.
What's Corey Clement really?
Corey?
Darren Sproles is a fucking fossil.
Oh, I forgot that he still plays.
You've got Carson Wentz who's questionable for week 1. and then you have like a really good defense. And Nick Foles is, you talk about outliers and means. Nick Foles was the outlier last year. Is he going to come back to that mean? Because when Nick Foles is good, he's good. He's Super Bowl like what we saw in the Super Bowl. Throughout his career, though, more often than not, he's just Nick Foles.
Like Case Keenum.
Yeah,
a little bit like Case Keenum. Weird how that works.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give the Packers the edge there.
Okay.
So let's go to your divisional matchups.
AFC divisional matchup. I had the 4-seeded Steelers playing at the 1-seeded Jaguars.
Yep.
And the 3-seeded Chargers playing at the 2-seeded Pats. I have the Jaguars beating the Steelers at home, and the Chargers going in and beating the Patriots.
I love it. I
love it. I just think that defense is going to take away a lot of things. They have really good corners to actually like take away those quick outs that Tom Brady does, and they have like two of the best outside linebackers there is.
Yep.
So it's just Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram coming at you. It's
sick. It's
a recipe for disaster, and I think they can actually, and they have improved up the middle as well. So their defense is something to be reckoned with. Plus, I just think the Patriots defense is bad. I think they're just bad. Overall bad. Their secondary was terrible last year. They never improved, even though people were like, oh, they improved. They actually stayed the same. They were just as bad at the beginning as they were at the end. If you go and look, it's on paper. You'll see it.
The thing, too, with New England is their offense has always been so good and so consistent that it actually kind of props the defense up because teams are playing from behind. So if you can make a team one-dimensional, your defense looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So the Patriots, though, like to not argue your point, but to like add to it, the Patriots last year on defense, they were another one of those teams that would give up yards.
Yep.
And then when they get into the red zone, they bunkered down a little bit. And like they just weren't giving up a ton of points. They were holding teams to field goals.
Yeah, but
so it showed up a little bit more that way.
With the Chargers, you're dealing with like Melvin Gordon and Keenan Allen. And now the old man returns and Antonio Gates. Yeah. You've got that trusted signature. So it's not like you're playing against fucking Texans or whatever it was, or the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah, they just let wheelchairs come back onto the field. So old Gates is going to be wheeling out there.
38 years old. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, that's sick. All right, so we actually have the same 4 teams in the divisional round for the AFC, but different matchups. I've got Pittsburgh at New England, and I've got the Chargers at Jacksonville. And I've got one home team winning, and I've got one road team winning. I got the home team winning in my first one. I've got New England beating Pitt. Mm-hmm. And my theory on that one is...
They own Pittsburgh.
They own Pittsburgh.
They legitimately own Pittsburgh.
And what scares me about Pittsburgh is I still don't know if they have it there defensively.
Yeah.
And what happens if Roethlisberger goes down?
Yeah.
Like, you just see so many holes in that team without Roethlisberger, without Bell. Like, I just don't have as much faith in them. Like, I think the window's closing, and I don't think they're going to be able to capitalize. Yeah. So I have them losing in the divisional round. And then I've got a road upset. I've got the Chargers going to Jacksonville and winning. I don't want to elaborate too much on that at this point. But my biggest case right there is at some point, Blake Bortles is going to Blake Bortles. Oh, and the Chargers defense, despite a few injuries already, the Chargers defense is a little underrated. They're getting better and better every single year, and they have enough offense to overcome a really, really, really good Jaguars defense. So probably a low-scoring game, just like a come down to the last possession game. I trust Phillip Rivers. This is my year for the Chargers. Like, I'm going to go with Phillip Rivers in this one. So I got the Patriots and Chargers advancing to AFC Championship weekend. So what's your divisional for NFC?
You got the Falcons playing at the 1-seeded best team in the world, Packers. And the Saints at their Rams. Again, I split here. I have one home team winning, one road team winning. I'm pretty sure you can guess it is. I have the Packers beating the Falcons at home. They're all for revenge on the Falcons. I wanted that matchup. They finally got the defense that's going to be a little bit more improved that can actually, I think, make some stops this time on Julio. So I have the Packers just out for revenge on that one. It's like Aaron Rodgers' revenge tour as well. And then the Saints beating the Rams on the road just because, I think the Saints are out for blood too because they got...
Oh, they got hosed
in that Vikings
last
game,
year.
like that, and they're gonna kill some people. And Kamara's been talking a lot of shit. So.
Yeah, they got hosed, man. So I, in the NFC, have the Saints at the Rams. I have the Rams winning that one, and I'm with you, man. The Saints are a great team, and I would not be surprised if they could win. But I'm just gonna buy into the Rams hype for one more week. One more week, I think they have what it takes, just because their defense is so good.
One more week.
That's a little prelude to the conference championship. And then I've got the NFC North rivalry in the divisional championships. I got the Packers traveling to Minneapolis to play the Vikings. And unlike you, the reunion or the revenge tour for Aaron Rodgers comes up a little bit short.
He will never lose to the Vikings.
And the Vikings win once again and return to the NFC Championship for the second year in a row. With that, let's get into your conference championship.
In my AFC Championship game, I have the Chargers versus the Jags, NFC Saints versus the Packers. In the AFC Championship game, I have the Chargers beating the Jags.
Yeah, I love it.
At Jacksonville. Philip Rivers needs to get to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
This is his best chance. Like, he hasn't had a better defense. He's got hopefully a healthy Keenan Allen. We've all seen what he has in Keenan Allen. They use Melvin Gordon in the passing game. They have an all-around team here.
They do.
They do. Too bad they don't have Hunter. Yeah, Henry there.
Yeah.
I'm picking a cursed team to go to the Super Bowl.
Woo, okay.
Yeah. And in the NFC Championship game,
You got the Packers and
I got the Saints at the Packers, and I actually have the Saints winning.
going to Lambeau and winning.
I have the Saints going into Lambeau, and I guess I have their. You know what? To be honest with you, the only reason I picked them is because I pick the Packers every year, and I want to not curse it this year, and I want the Packers. I think the Packers are going to get to the Super Bowl, but I don't want to fuck it up. So I'm going to pick the Saints because they do have enough. But
So that's why you win either way.
yes. So, but it's like I pick the Packers like every year, and Ryan Russillo actually does the exact same thing because he's like, fucking Aaron Rodgers. Like, the Packers are going to get there again.
Some point.
But I don't want to. I feel like I'm jinxing it, and I'm kind of superstitious. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
I am a little stitious.
And
Michael
so
Scott.
I'm going with the Saints to beat the Packers in Lambeau, which would be very unlikely.
So
I
your
would think, but-
Super Bowl matchup then is the old teammates at quarterback,
Yeah.
Drew Brees and Phil Rivers.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I love it. Okay, so I've got the Chargers at New England, and I thought I was crazy. I have the Chargers in the Super Bowl as well.
What about the Chargers?
I have the Chargers going to New England and winning. It's Rivers' time, man. Like, this is the window. Like, this is the exact team. Not saying he's done, but, man, he's closer to done than he is, like, anything else. So I'm going to give the Chargers the edge here, as I think it maybe, hopefully, is the downfall of the Patriots. And then I've got Minnesota going to L.A. I don't see much of a home field advantage in L.A. compared to a lot of other places. And I've got the Vikings pulling up the upset over the offseason winners of the Rams, making it a Chargers versus Vikings Super Bowl.
If you think Kirk Cousins can win a fucking game in the playoffs, you're out of your mind.
My theory is he'll end up getting hurt. They'll end up trading back for Case Keenum.
Or Bridgewater.
Bridgewater,
Yeah,
there you go.
Bridgewater
There you go.
from the Saints.
All right, what's your Super Bowl?
My Super Bowl is Chargers versus the Saints.
Well, who's winning? I mean,
And the winner is going to be Drew Brees. He has one Super Bowl.
Yep.
And it's
Who
about
needs one?
time for
Who needs
Philip
one?
Rivers to get one now. Philip Rivers goes and beats, I don't even know where they're playing. I wish I could
oh
say.
God, yeah.
Oh, fuck. The Saints in the Super Bowl, and they're your Super Bowl champions this year.
I love it because obviously I have the Chargers versus the Vikings,
Mhm.
and so you can't see this right now, but on my little document here, I had the Chargers written in, but I was scared of backlash. Potential backlash changed my pick to the Minnesota Vikings winning
Wearing the jersey.
the 2018, even though it's played in 19, NFL Super Bowl. The monkey's off the back. The Cousins signing ends up being worth it. The defense proves to be dominant, and Philip Rivers is oh so close. But you know that look that he has at every game that he just loses at the end, because remember when the Chargers were cursed and could never win a game at the end? That face that he would make,
Yep.
that face is going to make
That's
an
what they
appearance in the Super Bowl, and the Viking fans rejoice. Hopefully that old Millie girl's still alive and she gets to celebrate. Like, it's going to be fantastic. There's going to be that other singer that died recently, Prince. He's going to be he's going to like be erected over the entire city.
He's
and
going to have a big
Minneapolis-
boner over the entire city.
Yep, Minneapolis is going to rejoice,
Yeah.
and it's a Viking Super Bowl
It's
party.
never going to happen. Vikings don't win Super Bowls. Kirk Cousins is definitely not winning a Super Bowl ever. I'm surprised that you even did this. Let's play.
I love the idea that me and DJ did not talk about our predictions. We kept everything a secret. And I love that we both have the Chargers in the Super Bowl. That's just a fantastic thing.
I don't even know if Vikings make the playoffs, much less fucking winning the Super Bowl. Jesus
All right,
Christ.
Let's wrap this puppy up with some
Yeah.
awards. We're going to do MVP, Offensive, and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who's your MVP?
Aaron Rodgers.
Saw
It's
that.
revenge. It's time for him to come and win his third MVP. come out here and he's just gonna fucking tear it up. Like Aaron Rodgers angry is an Aaron Rodgers you don't want to face, and he's about to kill you, and so is Devontae Adams, who I'm gonna be drafting at the 12th pick tonight, just so you guys know.
FYI. All right, and why that's hard to debate, and I won't stick my neck out and say that you're wrong.
Stupid.
With my Chargers having a huge
Your
year,
Chargers now.
I took my jersey off. With them making it to the Super Bowl, Phillip Rivers is going to be your NFL MVP. I'm expecting huge things this year.
Too many pieces around him to win the MVP, in my opinion.
It's going to help him. It's only going to improve his numbers.
I know, but there's just going to be, I don't know.
Are we both on the same page with Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Is it Saquon?
Saquon Barkley.
Give me one reason to believe that Saquon doesn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Sam Darnold goes out and has like a 8-8 record
The
and actually lights it up. Yeah, that's about it. That's like Sam Darnold comes out. I know everybody's really high on him, looking good in the Jets. If he comes out and he lights it up,
that'd be
puts up big numbers. He'll still lose a bunch of games, but he puts up some big numbers.
Yep.
He's the only guy I think has a chance.
I like that answer. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm going with Derwin James.
The Chargers.
He's got a lot of
Super Bowl.
pieces around him to make him look good as well.
Does.
So he could kind of just play on instincts.
If people start targeting him because they're scared.
Fuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go out. He's gonna play with his instinct because he's got enough guys around him to cover his ass.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
All right. So I thought of Derwin. Like Derwin was my initial pick. However, had to be a little bit homerish on this pick. My Defensive Rookie of the Year is none other than the Miami Dolphins defensive back, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Hear me out on this one. Dolphins cut Tony Libbett. That means it's basically they had Bobby McCain.
He was a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was. They have Bobby McCain, who was the slot corner, who is now projected to play more on the outside. So you got Xavier Howard and Bobby McCain on the boundary.
God, it sounds like a shit team.
It used to be that Minkah was going to be like a substitute safety, like kind of work his way in. They're making him be on the field now by playing him in the slot. So he's going to be on the field a lot more. And even if they move Cordray Tankersley on the outside at some point and move Bobby McCain back to the slot, Fitzpatrick's still going to get worked in at safety because he does so much. I think there's going to be opportunities for him to make plays. He flashed in training camp. He flashed in the preseason. He's an Alabama product. On defense, they don't fail all that often. I still want the Dolphins to have Josh Rosen. Like, I'm still upset about this, to be honest with you. But Minkah Fitzpatrick, I had to get a little Dolphins love in here because I haven't had 4 wins.
Yeah.
Minkah Fitzpatrick is your 2018 Defensive Rookie of the Year. You heard it here first.
Fucking Dolphins.
Are you done?
I'm done.
All right. So tweet any questions you have. We're on Twitter @LoadedBox. Make sure you check that out tonight. And if you're listening to this after Sunday night, go on Twitter, find our Twitter live video because we're doing our Odell Beckham Jr.
Game time.
Mini helmet giveaway, and we have a surprise.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, for how we're going to decide this. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be on Twitter live, and you're going to check it out. And
I want to add.
Go ahead.
I want to add that pay close attention that if we do remember to keep doing videos, just pay attention to how our video starts to how it ends, progression wise. I think it'll be pretty entertaining for you people out there.
Yep. Absolutely. So make sure you check those out. We're heading to our fantasy draft party here in a couple of minutes. So we're going to wrap this puppy up. Our next episode, we're going to be back midweek because it's week 1 of the NFL season.
Fuck yeah, boy.
You know what we do then, right?
It's game time.
It's game time. We do daily fantasy lineups and suggestions.
ATS.
We do our against the spread betting picks.
Can't do it.
So if you like fantasy, if you like betting on NFL football, we're your one-stop shop.
Degenerate, baby. If you want to be a degenerate, this is the place to come.
This is where we come.
Yeah.
All right, we're available on iTunes. Search Loaded Box, subscribe, rate, and review. And with that, DJ, go ahead and send us out.
Bye.
Sexual.